Chosen one. You've got people fuming mad right now because everyone wants you to fill in the blanks and you're finally setting the record straight. Someone just sent a text they wish they could unsend, trying to do last-minute damage control. The truth is surfacing, and no rumor or manipulation can stop it now. For a long time, people tried to paint you as the problem, but their story never added up, and now the very people they fooled are starting to question everything. Someone important is about to approach you, ready to hear your side, not gossip, but truth. Someone close to you has been straddling the fence for years, believing one person, then believing another person, then just staying in the gray area because it was safer. Maybe younger and didn't know better, maybe manipulated, maybe just scared to choose sides. But something shifted recently. Things don't add up anymore. Feeling unsafe with the people who've been controlling the narrative, sensing the truth isn't being told, and intuition is screaming to come to you. So here we are. This is the moment where the training wheels officially come off. This is your catch me outside season. This is when you get to say what you've been waiting to say, and anyone who doesn't like it can deal with it. You're surrounding yourself with love, and everyone else can either get on board or get out of the way. You know, once you walk through this gate and say what you're going to say, you can't go backwards. You can't undo it. So you might be sending out a warning like, hey, this is my moment. I'm doing what I want. I'm speaking my truth. You feel me? You're not doing this out of bitterness. You're not doing this for revenge. You're doing this because someone you care about deeply deserves to know the truth, deserves to understand why there's been distance, deserves to know what really happened, and you're the only one who's going to give the real story. They're trying to ride your coattails because you are the golden ticket. Someone wanted to make a moment bigger than yours. Someone was always trying to one-up your milestones. You got something amazing. They had to announce something bigger. You achieved something. They had to copy you and claim they're doing it first. And the wild part, no shame about how much copying is happening. It's really sad when you think about it. Their entire identity is built around mimicking you, and now things are catching up. People are starting to notice the lack of authenticity, the hollowness. You can have the most beautiful moments with the most amazing pictures, but if authenticity isn't there, if it's not real, what is that even worth? It's hollow, it's a performance, and people can only perform for so long before the mask slips. After getting as many one-ups as possible, after copying as much as possible, you just ignored it all. You couldn't care less, so certain people have been trying everything to get your attention, to antagonize you, to provoke a reaction, and your favorite thing to do, give them absolutely nothing, literally nothing. You have people around you who do not like how protected you are, don't like that getting to you is impossible now, and now that you've gone through your spiritual awakening, you're literally untouchable to them. When you first knew these people, you maybe thought, man, I wish I knew then what I know now. I could have protected myself even better. But you were always protected because your heart was in the right place. You tried to make amends. You tried to heal these situations. You tried to make things comfortable, and certain people just couldn't play ball. They chose messy every single time. They chose petty every single time. And now those consequences are here, a lot of them. You are a superhero to certain people, but intimidation or bullying has kept them from coming toward you. Someone has literally been saying, don't talk to that person because of this, and that, maybe keeping a whole list of reasons why avoiding you seems necessary. But no matter how much dirt gets thrown on your name, you're still a superhero to these people. You're still a role model. You still make them feel safe, protected, strong. You make them feel really good about themselves in ways other people don't. The person who's been blocking you has been hiding possessiveness, meanness, and greed. They are still trying to hide it, feeding people lines like, oh my gosh, I'm so loving, so kind, I get along with everybody. But positions and relationships got built on false pretenses, and now those skeletons are coming out. You are debunking lies all around. People are about to be shaken. This person always was competitive with you, always felt big, bad, and bold when in a group against you, always wanted to challenge you, to duel you. and you just showed your character. I am so unbothered. I don't think about you at all. In fact, I actually pray for you. Your prayers are magical. Your light is magical. And some of you have your divine counterpart, your person, and that gets under certain skin so bad, wanting what you have, definitely not wanting you to have it, so much jealousy around the fact of thinking, I can't believe that level of treatment. Why do you deserve that? None of their business. If knowing you well enough happened, then why would be obvious? That's part of the divine plan. Your milkshake is getting a lot of attention, and someone has always tried to be in front of you, trying to steal the spotlight. But no matter what, your age is reversing, and others are aging rapidly, because living in the past does that. Aging rapidly because they still want problems with you, and you're just like, please have a nice life. There's a message you need to get to someone, and this is confirmation that this message is needed. It's not gossip, it's not messy. This is someone finally asking you for truth, and you're going to give it. Don't let anyone make you feel bad like, oh, you're so over the top, that's messy. You shouldn't tell them that. These people have always been saying you're over the top anyway, so you're going to give them something real to talk about, because mouths have been running for how long? Now people want to know the truth, so let them have it. If this touched your heart and mind, hype this video so more chosen ones can receive this message. Someone you're dealing with is never satisfied. They wanted to bend rules that shouldn't be bent. They could have a lot of resources and still complain, still miserable, still unhappy, and all that complaining is catching up. They aged, got older, and still haven't grown. They still haven't faced the shadow. This person definitely doesn't like how much attention you're getting. You're placing your bets and betting on yourself. This reminds me of people who try to drag you into their chaos. Come with me now, dragging you through the drama, asking, is this enough to keep you happy? Super ungrateful people who act grateful but actions show toxic nature. Gimme, gimme, gimme energy. When things are good and attention's on them, everything's great. But besides that, not good at all. It's all fun in the beginning and terrible in the end. Thinking everything looks so good right now, but you know better. This truth you're going to speak is a message you need to get to other people. There's a hate track here, old beef, dirt swept way under the rug, holding on tight, but not for your peace. No matter how bad you were done, and you were done really bad, bitterness remains on their end. Something got taken away from you, a family member, a loved one, access to someone important. That's how petty and pathetic this situation is, and financial issues are happening for certain people. While you're rising, keep being you. Destiny swap attempt. They definitely wanted your destiny, and tried that so many times, sleeping on you, underestimating you, and kept praying every time you weren't around like, I hope recovery doesn't happen. Every time they heard something bad happen to you, brought twisted joy. That's sick, but you're going from the pit to the palace, rags to riches. You're coming out of hibernation, and you know it's time to shine again. Whether in law or blood, there's rivalry energy here, always wanting to rival you, always wanting to duel. For some of you where this isn't family, this is a co-worker situation, where maybe a best friend got stolen and never returned. That's crazy, but you are stress-free, rising up, it's up and it's stuck. I want you to know that right now, you are stress-free, you are rising, it is up and it is stuck. You are going to transmute this pain. Pain was caused, but you've been continuously transmuting it, continuously showing, I'm going to rise above that. Stage of completion. You're finally completing this lesson because you are being tested with whether you'll open that door. Certain people keep trying to provoke you through. You will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. The beginner's mind is getting that fresh breath, that fresh oxygen, realizing, yeah, my body needed that, my mind needed that, my soul needed that. You're getting to reconnect with somebody you actually want to reconnect with, because listening to a smear happened because no other choice existed, stuck between a wall and a hard place. You're still getting this new beginning, despite everything doing a little shimmy backwards. You're still getting this fresh start. The training wheels are off. Maybe this is coming in at a time where you want to be in your catch me outside season and you're like, I'm not really trying to do that by myself. This person is not just coming in for no reason. They're coming in for that catch me outside season to be by your side. No matter the age, they're becoming your new partner in crime, your new bestie. You are about to be a big influence on this person in the next stages of life. You make this person feel safe, protected, strong. You make them feel really good about themselves. So it will give you another ally. It will give you support, and this is something you've been waiting for. You're protecting the future. You are helping protect this person's future because other people involved care about how things look. There are other players in this game that don't have best interests at heart. They're acting extremely self-motivated and selfish, and you're like, I came in and clocked the game. I'll wait because I'll still be here. Some of these players won't be here, but I will be here. I will protect the future. Even though that's not your job, feeling like that was your calling happened. You didn't know the how, the what, the when, or how it was even going to work. When it wasn't happening in the beginning, maybe your heart was broken, but you just knew someday helping and aiding that person will happen. You've been very patient waiting for this person. You are not refusing the call. You're going to help see through the thorns. You're going to help see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to help weather through challenges. You're going to be a shoulder to cry on, a counselor, a confidant. You are definitely making a quantum leap that you were not expecting. And it's also bringing in more resources so you can help support those that you care about. Be prepared. There's an order in this court, order being restored. You are seeing people's real situations, and you nailed it the first time. You are just standing here like, I'm my authentic self. Here's what's really scary for certain people. It's not just that you're going to tell what happened. It's that once you start filling in those blanks, other people are going to start asking their own questions. Questions like, wait, if lies happened about that, what else got lied about? Questions like, why was desperation so high to keep us apart? Questions like, what was the fear about us finding out? See, the person who's been blocking you understands something important. You're not just credible, you're magnetic. When you speak, people listen. When you explain something, it makes sense. When you show up authentically, others feel safe enough to drop their masks too. That's why working so hard to keep people away from you happened, because exposure to your energy would break the spell being cast, and that spell is breaking right now. The person coming to you isn't just curious. Hunger is real. They're being fed crumbs of truth for so long, and now sitting at your table ready for a full meal. They want details. They want context. They want to understand why things happened the way it did, and you're about to serve truth so pure, so clear, so undeniable that unseeing it becomes impossible. Here's something else that's about to come to light. It's not just the lies told about you, it's the information deliberately withheld, the invitations that didn't get passed along, the messages that got intercepted, the opportunities you never knew about, the moments where active work happened to keep you out of the picture. Gatekeeper energy got played with your relationships, and now that gate is being torn down. You're going to find out about things you were excluded from, events you would have been at if you'd known about them, conversations you would have been part of if someone hadn't blocked the information. And while that might sting initially, it's also going to validate everything you sensed was happening. You knew something was off. You felt the distance being artificially maintained. You sensed the interference even when proving it was impossible. And now you're going to get confirmation that your intuition was right all along. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random. And if you're paying attention, you can feel it. Their walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve cooperative intelligence. The beauty is, you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and your subconscious is rewired while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own lies. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your destiny engine for $1 today and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. As you start filling in these blanks, you're going to watch this person's face change. You're going to see recognition dawn. You're going to witness relief flood through as things finally make sense. Because validation is powerful. When someone has been questioning their own perception for that long, when being told feelings aren't valid happened, when being made to doubt their own memory occurred, having someone confirm what got suspected is healing in itself. You're not just giving information, you're giving permission to trust themselves again, and that's threatening to the person who's been manipulating. Because someone who trusts self can't be easily controlled. Someone who knows accurate perception of reality is possible can't be gaslit anymore. Someone who's been validated in discernment will start using that discernment everywhere. This is bigger than just your relationship with this person. You're helping develop the tools to see through manipulation in general. These are life skills that will serve forever. You have receipts you never even mentioned. You have evidence you never felt the need to use because you knew the truth would surface eventually. You have documentation of things that happened. You have witnesses who saw what really went down. You have a timeline that contradicts their version of events. You weren't sitting around collecting evidence because you're not petty like that. You were just living your life, keeping your record straight, being your authentic self. But in doing so, you naturally accumulated proof of what really happened. And while you might not even bring up all those receipts, just knowing you have them gives you a confidence that can't be shaken. You're not worried about being believed because you know what happened. You're not anxious about being questioned because the truth is on your side. The liar, on the other hand, has to remember which version they told to which person. They have to keep track of inconsistencies. They have to worry about being caught in contradictions. That's exhausting. That's why they look so tired while you look so refreshed. Truth is lighter than lies. Integrity takes less energy than deception. Authenticity is easier than performance. You've been carrying the truth this whole time, and it hasn't weighed you down. Others have been carrying lies, and those lies are crushing them. Now those lies are about to be exposed, and they're going to collapse under their own weight. When you fill in these blanks for one person, you're creating a ripple effect that's going to reach further than you realize. That person is going to talk to others. They're going to share their newfound understanding. They're going to start asking questions in other areas where things didn't add up, and each conversation is going to weaken the liar's hold a little more. Other people who've been on the fence are going to hear what this person learned. They're going to start connecting their own dots. They're going to remember their own moments of confusion. They're going to trust their own instincts more. This is how truth movements start. One person gets brave enough to ask. One person gets honest enough to answer. That honesty gives someone else permission to ask their own questions. That person's breakthrough inspires another person's curiosity. And before long, the whole carefully constructed house of cards comes tumbling down. This conversation where you fill in the blanks isn't just about the past. It's about the future. You're not just correcting misunderstandings. You're stepping into a mentor role that's going to shape this person's trajectory for years to come. This will be remembered as the moment everything changed, the moment they learned to trust their intuition, the moment they found their courage, the moment they chose truth over comfort, and you're going to be the one who gave them that gift. You can't mentor someone effectively while lying to them. You can't guide someone authentically while manipulating them. You can't be a safe person while actively working to keep them from other safe people. They positioned themselves as the hero while making you the villain. But heroes don't isolate people from their support systems. Heroes don't spread false narratives. Heroes don't work that hard to control information. Real heroes tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Real heroes empower others to make informed decisions. Real heroes create safety through honesty, not through control. And you're about to show this person what a real hero looks like. As you fill in these blanks, as you set this record straight, you're also opening a door to a future relationship that's going to be built on a completely different foundation. There will be no more walking on eggshells, no more filtered communication, no more wondering what you're allowed to say, just authentic connection between two people who value truth. This person is going to feel so free in your presence. They're going to realize they can ask you anything and get a straight answer. They're going to understand they can come to you with confusion and get clarity. They're going to know it's safe to trust you to be real, even when reality is hard. That kind of relationship is rare and precious. The person who lied could never offer that because the entire relationship was built on maintaining an illusion. Every interaction had to serve the narrative. Every conversation had to be carefully managed. There was no room for raw honesty, because raw honesty would expose the lies. But you're building something different. You're building something sustainable. You're creating a bond that can weather storms because it's rooted in truth. And that bond is going to grow stronger while their artificial connections continue to deteriorate. People can sense when something is real versus when it's performed. This person has been sensing that for a while now. That's part of why they're coming to you. They're craving authenticity in a world that's felt increasingly fake. You're giving them exactly what they need at exactly the right time. What makes this moment even more powerful is that you're not the only one they lied about. You're just the one brave enough to speak up when asked directly. There's a whole pattern of behavior, a whole web of deception spun across multiple relationships, multiple situations, across time. And when one part of that web gets exposed, the whole thing starts to shake. Other people are going to start coming forward too, not because you're organizing some campaign, but because truth has a way of giving people courage. When someone sees you speak honestly about what happened and survive it, thrive from it even, they think, maybe I can speak my truth too. The person who's been lying is about to discover they weren't as clever as they thought. All those separate lies they told to different people, thinking no one would ever compare notes. People are comparing notes now. All those contradictory stories they spun, thinking they could keep everyone confused. The confusion is clearing now. You're not even trying to take anyone down. You're just answering questions honestly. But honesty is their kryptonite, because the entire structure was built on dishonesty. And here's what's really eating them up inside. Deep down, beneath all the posturing and the performance, they know this is deserved. Deep down, they know they brought this on themselves. There were chances to come clean. There were opportunities to make things right. There were moments when they could have chosen the truth. They chose lies every single time. Now they're reaping what they sowed, and there's a poetic justice in that. The person coming to you for the truth is about to experience something transformative. They're about to learn that asking hard questions doesn't destroy relationships, it strengthens them. They're about to discover that real love can handle real conversations. They're about to understand that authenticity is worth the temporary discomfort. These are lessons that are going to change how they move through the world. They're going to start applying this same energy elsewhere. When something doesn't make sense at work, they'll ask about it. When a relationship feels off, they'll address it. When they sense manipulation, they'll call it out. You're not just filling in blanks about the past, you're teaching them how to navigate the future. And that's terrifying to anyone who was planning to manipulate them down the line. All those years you stayed quiet weren't wasted. You weren't being weak. You weren't being passive. You were being strategic. You were waiting for the right moment, the right person, the right question, and now that moment is here. Every time you bit your tongue, instead of defending yourself publicly, you were building credibility. Every time you took the high road instead of getting in the mud, you were accumulating respect. Every time you chose dignity over drama, you were investing in this exact moment, because now when you speak, people listen. Now when you explain, people believe you. Now when you share your truth, it carries weight because you haven't been running around desperately trying to convince everyone of your version of events. You just lived your truth quietly, and your life spoke for itself. The person who lied, on the other hand, has been protesting too much. They've been working too hard to convince people. They've been too invested in managing everyone's perception, and people notice that. People wonder why someone needs to work that hard to prove something if it's actually true. Your silence gave you power. Their over-explaining revealed their weakness. Now you're using that accumulated power to help someone who genuinely needs it. You're not wielding truth as a weapon. You're offering it as a gift. Here's what actually happened. Here's why things went down the way they did. Here's the information that was missing. That kind of generosity, even towards someone who believed lies about you, that's the mark of real strength. Once you have this conversation, once you set this record straight, you're going to feel lighter. Even if there's some temporary awkwardness, even if there's some pushback from people still loyal to the liar, you're going to feel free, free from the weight of carrying untold truth. Free from the burden of being misunderstood, free from the frustration of watching someone you care about believe lies. That freedom is priceless, and the person you're sharing the truth with is going to feel it too. They're going to feel the relief of finally understanding, the peace of having their intuition validated, the strength that comes from making decisions based on accurate information instead of manipulation. You're both about to experience a level of freedom that seemed impossible before. What the person who blocked you understood from the beginning is that authenticity is contagious. When someone experiences real connection with you, when they feel what it's like to be around someone who isn't performing or manipulating, they start craving that everywhere. They recognize fakeness immediately. They develop a taste for truth that can't be satisfied by lies anymore. That's what they feared most. Not that you'd say something specific, but that your mere presence, your genuine energy, would make their artifice obvious by comparison. And they were right to fear that. The person coming to you now is about to experience what real mentorship feels like, what honest guidance looks like, what unconditional support means. And once they experience that, once they know that level of authentic care is possible, settling for less becomes impossible. You're not just filling in blanks about what happened years ago. You're showing them what healthy relationship dynamics look like. You're demonstrating what real protection feels like. You're modeling what genuine investment in someone's well-being actually means, and that's going to ruin them for manipulation forever. You've stood tall over and over and over again. You are walking through an era, a portal of rest and renewal. You are going through a portal of becoming your authentic self. You are coming out on the other side looking amazing. You are coming out on the other side as the greatest of all time. When you knew some of these people, you were this jewel certain people couldn't stand. You were this jewel, and people were very attracted to your light, but this was before your spiritual awakening. Now that you've gone through your spiritual awakening, now that you've gone through initiations and passed the test with flying colors, there's another teaching moment here. You are going to stand tall. You are connected to the truth. You have a sacred contract to be your authentic self. You are getting an opportunity to not only set the record straight, but to be a part of someone's life as a good influence or role model. Because even though this person might not be good at articulating "I need you," you are sensing that need clearly. Whatever feelings of resentment you had, you've been trying not to take it out on this person. It's not their fault that they listen to certain people. They didn't really have a choice. It's kind of like when co-parenting happens and one parent believes everything the other parent says, treating everything as gospel, and then one day they wake up to the fact that maybe that is not the truth. Maybe that is not gospel. Maybe they need to ask some more questions. They're growing, they're evolving, and they're curious about how to maneuver because they don't feel safe or protected or like people are really being transparent with them. As they're feeling some type of way, they're coming to discover the truth. And that is the part you play, not because you want to be involved in the past. This is your opportunity to set the record straight, to clear the air, because you're already a hero in their eyes. You are a hero and a teacher and a mentor to many different people. But what's powerful is you don't always get to do that with the people you care about the most. The people you care about the most, you don't always get to mentor or teach or lead them because other people have been blocking them from learning from you, from being mentored by you. Now nothing can be done. Their hands are officially tied, and as their hands are tied, skeletons are coming out of the closet. You are the bone collector. You know things other people don't, and you still don't really share it except with the people who need to know certain information. Embrace how your angels are supporting you. For some of these people to even listen to you, you know your angels are supporting you. You know that for these people to be putting you on a pedestal, it's more than just one thing you do, it's several things you do. Because somebody here is a very generous person, and just because you're giving doesn't mean that's why they'll finally listen to you. It's because you're bringing other things to the equation, to the table, that other people who've been lying are not bringing in. Your inner child is being rewarded for playing, having fun, because you want them to stay a child if that's the case for your situation. You don't want them involved in adult conflict, that's your protective instinct. But mark my words, how you're clearing the air, you nailed it. And you will be more supported than you realize, because maybe people are like, oh my gosh, don't tell them that, don't do that. Listen, follow your intuition. You will get to the bottom of this. Somebody wants to get to the bottom of lies that got told, and for some reason, you are the source of that truth. There will always come a day when the dark has to come to light, and the universe is backing you up in ways you can't even see yet. Resources are flowing toward you, opportunities are opening for you, people are being drawn to you. Because when you align with truth this completely, when you step into your purpose this fully, when you own your power this authentically, the universe has no choice but to support you. This is your season, this is your time, this is your moment to shine in a way that changes everything. Own it, chosen one. You've earned it. You've waited for it. You've prepared for it. Now step into it fully and watch what happens next. The blanks are filled. The record is straight. The truth is told. This is your moment. Own it.